What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today is the continuation of Mixed 6-Pack Theme Month here on the channel, and it's day 3. And the beer I'm reviewing today comes from the Founders Brewing Company, and they are out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and this is their Green Zebra. So on the label, they are calling this a Gose style ale brewed with watermelon and sea salt. So basically it's a Gose, and they're brewing it with watermelon. Comes in at 4.6% alcohol by volume, 10 IBUs in the time of review. This can is just under 4 months old. And I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to a good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Jeff, aka NoJinx, for hooking me up with this one. I'll post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contained this beer. So thank you very much, Jeff. Now, Jeff sent this along with New Holland's Dragon's Milk White, which I did for day 1. And, he sent them to me specifically for the theme month a couple months ago because he knew I was going to do it. And, normally I'd be like, I just, want to actually pick them up in mixed 6-packs. Well, Dragon's Milk White is available here in the Western New York area in a bunch of different locations in mixed sixers, and so is Green Zebra. And Green Zebra has been for a couple years now. Now, full disclosure, I've had this one before, and I really remember enjoying it. It was a bit sweeter than your typical Gose, and not really overly tart, but I found the watermelon character to be quite refreshing and authentic. So hopefully that is still the case. We will pour it into a glass and give it a go here. A lot of people really enjoy this one. Jeff, my buddy Sadiq, a lot of people find this one very refreshing, especially in the summer months where it's crazy warm. Believe this is a summer seasonal, almost positive, maybe a spring/summer seasonal. But anyway, let's give this a pour, see what we got going on here. Yeah, so it's pouring out like you would expect from a, I don't know why I always struggle with trying to figure out how to put this over here, even though I've done it, 500 times basically. Anyway, yeah, it's not crystal clear. It's pretty filtered, but there's a little bit of chill haze, I'd imagine, on this one, and a little bit of murkiness to it. Has this really nice, golden orange color. Pretty decent carbonation, has a thin film of a bright white head, and yeah, looks like a Gose, although maybe a little bit darker than I would anticipate it looking like. Anyway, let's get a nose. Yeah, I mean, the watermelon, here's the thing with watermelon for me specifically, could be different for you, but I find more often than not watermelon in beers, they just come off fake. And I love Jolly Rancher watermelon, the watermelon flavor specifically, and I like fake watermelon. I just don't typically like it in my beer. So when I get a beer with watermelon that has the candied characteristic, I'm kind of disappointed. This one, it smells authentic. It smells fresh. It smells like I just, cracked open a watermelon. It definitely smells a bit sweeter, and that's the one thing I remember about this, is it is definitely a sweeter Gose. There's a little bit of tart character to it, a little bit of salinity, base, kind of weedy, almost grainy aspect. Yeah, it doesn't, listen, this is not super complex or anything. It's not meant to be. It's a 4.6% Gose brewing with watermelon for the summertime, and it smells like that. So let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again, Jeff. Yeah, so the cool thing about this beer for me personally is that watermelon characteristic is authentic, as I mentioned. This, though, is one of the sweeter Goses I've had. It definitely has a sweetness. I don't know what that's coming from, if it's coming strictly from the watermelon, or I don't know. I've had a lot of Goses and a lot of Berliner Weisses, like the crazy other half ones where they put 75 different adjuncts and whatnot. But if you're just talking about a Gose with watermelon, or Gose with a singular fruit added and not crazy, it doesn't look like a fruit smoothie, it actually looks like a Gose, this is one of the sweeter ones that I've had. 4.6%. I really find the body of this one to be a little bit bigger than I anticipated. Lower side of medium to almost medium body. It's not straight up watery, which is nice. The mouthfeel, very crisp, relatively clean, super refreshing, has a lot of effervescence to it. It's definitely spritzy, but not overly carbonated. It's not too much. But right up front, you're hit with that watermelon. Pass through the palate, a little bit of that graininess, a little bit of a weedy characteristic. This isn't a Berliner Weiss. I don't know if they're using wheat, but pretty sure when it comes to Goses, I think they use wheat. I don't know. I'm not entirely positive about that, but there's a grainy, weedy thing going on. The salinity is omnipresent, but it's very, very mild, very subdued, which is nice. I'm left with a little bit of the salinity on the back of the palate. This finishes to the sweeter side of things. There's basically a tartness throughout the palate, but it's not even a firm tartness. It definitely doesn't approach sour, but it's on the lower side of like a tart characteristic for a Gose. So this one actually leans more towards the sweet side than the tart side of things. The one issue that I've always had with this one, as I mentioned, is it's a bit I was gonna say it's a bit too sweet. It's not too sweet, but for the style, I think I would want it to have more of a balance between the tartness and sweetness. I want this one to be a little bit more tart, like a higher tartness, almost into a sourness. I think it would make it even more refreshing during the summer months. But truth be told, I could crush, you know, probably whatever, a 6-pack of this and have no issues with it. I don't think it would build up, the sweetness would build up too much for me. It's super refreshing, easy to drink, perfect for the summer months. How many times can I say that in a single review? Maybe about 300. But yeah, you go to a beach, a barbecue, poolside, whatever, bring a couple cans of this, you'll be refreshed. You won't be sloshed because it's only 4.6%. And if you like watermelon, you like authentic watermelon, I feel this one is the one for you. Some people might perceive that sweetness with the watermelon character to be kind of candied, and I could see that, but for me, I just know the difference for myself personally when it comes to like a watermelon Jolly Rancher and an authentic watermelon. This is kind of like closer to the rind of a watermelon. Like you bit into a watermelon, but you got a part of the white, you know, rindy outside, as opposed to just the straight on red part of it that's super sweet. But yeah, anyway, I really enjoy it. I've always enjoyed this one, so I'm going to give Founders Green Zebra a straight 4 out of 5. Yeah, I mean, it deserves it. It's a good beer. If you're looking for something for the summertime, I think this would do, especially if you like watermelon. And again, price and availability, these are a mix of sixers everywhere. I don't know what a 6-pack on this one is, but I imagine they probably come with 15 packs for like $1 a can. But yeah, for under $2 a can, pretty much everywhere, you can't beat it for a Gose with watermelon. Not that there's like 3,000 Goses with watermelon out there, but you know, if you're looking for a watermelon fruit beer that has a little bit of tartness and some sweetness to it, I think this would be your jam, because certainly is mine. So 4 out of 5, Green Zebra, Founders. Appreciate everybody stopping by. This was day 3 of Mixed 6-Pack theme month on the channel. Tomorrow will be Palo Santo Marron from Dogfish Head. So we're gonna switch it up and go from you know, sub 5% sour to a 12% imperial wood-aged brown ale. Should be a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks again, Jeff, for this beer. Truly do appreciate it. Thanks to everybody for stopping by. Another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. And I always seem to be ending all these reviews with me talking about the ABV. 4.6%. I can't taste the alcohol. This kind of just drinks like, this is going to be sounding like a negative, but kind of drinks like a soda pop. But not in a bad way or a good way. I don't know. Now I confused you. I confused myself. That's why I'm going to leave. Cheers, everyone.